epicenter of Operation Rio Grande, Salt Lake City police officers working every day to make downtown Salt Lake City safe for everyone. Deputy Chief Josh Sharman joins us today to talk more about Operation Rio Grande. Thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Let's take a look now. Year one is complete. How has success looked for the police department, and how are you determining whether or not it's been successful?
You know, it's interesting because when we talk about Op Rio, and we just saw in that previous segment where we talked about the 3 phases, and it's really important for us as law enforcement to look at a broader picture of not just public safety, but those other 2 phases are just as important. But from a public safety standpoint, you know, we've seen a dramatic drop. And a lot of that, I got to tell you, having the partners from the Department of Public Safety and even our Unified Police Department and our UTA Police Department have all chipped in to help us in this community.
But a community effort, not just a Salt Lake City effort.
Correct. And it's a sustained effort. DPS is still down there helping us every single day, working side by side with our officers, and it's made a tremendous difference.
Let's talk about the statistics and kind of the numbers you're seeing. You're saying that they're drops, so kind of talk to us through that.
Yeah, our first phase of Operation Rio Grande was to reestablish public order. You know, that's one of our primary principal roles that we're trying to do down there. So Part 1 crime, which is our most serious crime, those are our assaults and our robberies and our thefts. Those have actually dropped in that area by 38% over year to date. Now that's several hundred events that did not occur. Victims were not were not victimized during that year, and that's a huge drop. You know, and then a lot of people ask, well, what happens in those surrounding areas? You know, we've heard displacement, we've heard that surrounding, and we're very proud that in Salt Lake City we have actually a 22% drop citywide. So a 38% drop year to date in the target area and a 22% citywide. So those are big accomplishments to be able to do.
Huge, because only 1 year. That didn't take several years to happen. That was a pretty immediate and noticeable difference.
Yeah. Most police departments, if you can affect change at a 4 or 5% in a year, those are significant changes. So we're talking about citywide 22% drop, and in the area 38%. Those are huge numbers.
A major success. Let's talk about your individual police officers, because we see this at a big picture. We see wanting to go downtown and feel more comfortable. But how has Operation Rio Grande impacted your police officers directly?
You know, it's been a huge change. What the police officers are committed to making sure that they go out and serve the community. And it's cliche, but they actually mean that. Salt Lake City police officers and the troopers that we're working with, they really want to affect change and make the neighborhood better. And before Operation Rio Grande, the system was preventing them from providing some of those services. Now that we have some more access to jail beds, we have 200 plus treatment beds that are accessible to us, and there's more than 100 people that have found work in phase 3 already. All of those combine to provide some sort of outcome for those officers, that they're actually making a difference in there.
So they're seeing the problem and able to help, not just interact with them directly.
Yeah, when you see somebody there and maybe they're an addict, maybe they're experiencing mental health issues, to be able to identify that and realize it's not necessarily a crime or a public safety issue, it's something that we actually want to help him or help him or her. So having access to those treatment beds and even housing, those are huge even for the police. Those really help us.
I like seeing kind of the personal sides of it for these officers who every day are serving our community. Final question, where do we go from here? What's next for Salt Lake City Police when it comes to Operation Rio Grande?
Well, we're going to keep on it. We're going to keep doing what's working, and we're going to adjust anything that isn't. We're seeing dramatic decreases in those crimes. We'll keep on that. And then we're going to keep with the treatment beds. We're going to keep pushing for that. We want to make sure we have options other than jail.
I love that. Deputy Chief Josh Sharman here from Salt Lake City Police Department. Thank you for what you do for our community. We so appreciate it, and of course for every single officer and the hard work they put in every single day. Thank you so much for joining us. And of course here at News for Utah, we will continue our In Focus look at Rio Grande all day long. Today at 4 o'clock, Odyssey House, an addiction recovery center in Salt Lake City, joining us to talk about the success that they have seen from Operation Rio Grande. You can also find this interview and the rest of our coverage online at goodforutah.com.